Okay, to begin with, I will start with what feels the easiest. So I'm going to sharpen my pencil and always have a sharpener close by because we're working with a small area here. So we'll need to keep the point quite sharp at all the times. So I'm going to just line out the top part, and remember that you do step by step. So if you find something like that overwhelming and you don't know where to stop, or start rather, then just start somewhere. So the top is mainly one color, and the skirt is the one that's quite complicated, and I will have to think of a way of trying to get pattern in there, but obviously we won't, you know, replicate this pattern in its entirety. And also, now that we switched up the color palette slightly, it means that it will look slightly different, or quite different probably. And then just adjust as you go. So this is the top part, and I'm going to get rid of the crumbs. And then once you have done that, you can see that you need to go back in and just add a little bit of color here and there. So don't worry about the skin tone just yet, we will do that later. Now I'm going to use this lovely white that I have, and we just need to create a pattern. So I think what I would do is just add these little dots like that. Even though they're not dots in her dress, the point is we're just trying to have that color combo and roughly create something that we see. I like the fact that it's not pure white, but it's off-white, and it looks quite nice. So we have that, and then at the bottom of her top there is some sort of like round bit of gold. So I'm just going to create these details like that. And then her skirt. Now her skirt is the scary part. So let's see where we start with the skirt. I think I'm going to start with a medium that basically is water soluble. So I'm just going to cover the entire skirt in this color. It's a really beautiful color, and I like it even more when you add a bit of water to it. So you can see now her hands get to disappear in all this abundance of beautiful fabric. So I'm going to pull out the color a bit, but I'm not going to do it everywhere, and then darken it up right at the top. So what I'm going to do now is use the water to blend it in and almost like create an ombre effect. So it's a little bit lighter at the bottom. And it's something you don't have to do. You can see it's not like that in her skirt, but it's something that I like doing because I feel that that's how illustrations get lifted a little bit. And now we have this lovely kind of watercolor effect at the bottom, and it's all doing some beautiful stuff here. So next stage can't be done until this is fully dried, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for it to dry, and then we're going to come back. So okay, actually something really pretty happened here. I don't know if you'd be able to see it. Can you see a bit of gold sparkle? Just ever so lightly. It's basically, there was a bit of the gold left from the iridescent acrylic ink, the iridescent bright gold on the brush when I did the swatch later, and it has come onto here, and it just looks so pretty. Unintentional, but such a good little addition. Okay, so where do we start with this? The color palette that I have means that we can do a bit of doodling. I'm going to darken her skirt just at the top, and then I'm going to create these kind of like windows. It's got this sort of lovely shape going on here, and I'm just going to very quickly repeat that throughout. Like so. And then inside there, I wonder if this color is going to stand out very well. I think I'm going to just add a bit of detail. And now we're going to add some blue onto it. So I can see some sort of floral ornamental design. I'm just going to create very basic flowers here. There we go. And then actually I might use some of that red that I said I wouldn't use. Let's see if I can do some sort of flowers. And then we have a bit of darkness at the bottom of the skirt, so I think I'm just going to add a bit of this Payne's grey right at the bottom. At the hemline. It actually also helps to blend in this line from the marker. Okay, and then some gold detail, maybe just these sort of leaf-like details. As it often happens, these sort of fabric designs are often repeated. Okay, and then we can do loads of little like dots and things like that underneath, just to create more texture. This fabric is very busy, it's very ornamental, so it is fine to keep on adding. And you know, this is a pure inspiration, not a representation of the actual thing. I'm just wanting to show you how to be creatively inspired by a fashion look, yet making something out of it that's your own. So we've got quite a bit of a pattern going on here. And let's see, what else would I like to add? Maybe just these little dots around here. Okay, I think this is enough ornamental design for me. So this is what it looks like. You can see that there is some sort of similarities here. Let me just bring it closer. But, you know, it's not the exact thing. And I think the idea here is to take something and try to find inspiration from it, but without like doing the same thing, which kind of makes it more, it just opens up your creative mind a bit, and you start, you know, thinking out of the box rather than just copying what you can see in front of you. I think it's a fun little exercise to do. And let me see, I'm just wanting to kind of add this bit of design just to make it look like it's continued on the side, like so. Okay, so the skirt is done. We could potentially add a little bit to the top as well, but I'm not sure if there is any necessity in that. I think I actually like it the way it is. I might add a little bit of color just to go, just to connect it. So I'm going to add a bit of this color, although it's not in the picture there, but I want to have it repeated. So just like that. And now we can carry on and actually focus on the face. So I'm going to stamp out the face and come back. Okay, so when I have so much detail in this illustration, I don't want to fuss about with the skin tones and sort of using different mediums. I want it to be nice and easy. So I will go for the pink beige Ecoline. That's usually what I do in that sort of a situation. And I'm going to just use that as the skin tone, and that's it. So I will add it in all the areas around the eyes. I think I had a bit of the bright violet left in my brush. It's quite a staining color, so it's kind of giving me a lot of pink here, but that's fine. It still is within the Caucasian skin tone. So I'm just covering all of the face area, the neck area, the torso, and wherever you can see her skin still showing up. And that's it. Now I need to let it dry completely, and after that we can start working on the face, which I'm really excited about. Oh my gosh, apologies. I was convinced I was filming and I was chatting away, and I just realized it was not. So what I have done is used Payne's Grey, the same Payne's Grey as we did on the dress. I used it in her eyeliner, and the same red, which is the permanent red, I have used in her lip. Now I'm proceeding to work on her eyes, and for that I will use the Sepia 10% and Buff Titanium just to blend it out a little. So SJP has light grey eyes, and that's why I like to add a bit of color here, not too much. And then for the pupils, the beloved dark indigo. So that's then brought, that brings everything together like so. And I'm thinking I might want to just finish up this eye right underneath it like that. And then do my favorite thing with the terracotta colors, just to warm things up a little bit. So let's see what's what. Russet, burnt sienna, natural russet. I'll go with the natural russet just here around the eye. Now this is totally optional, but I like it. So I'm just blending it out a little like so. And before anything else happens, I have to give her some sort of a cheek color. I wonder if I just add a tiny little bit of this color here, just like that. And use a lot of water. Then onto my lashes. I got a little bit carried away here and I added some onto the area, which I wasn't going to, so I'll try to use a bit of white later once it dried up, just to cover it up. Things like that can happen. Okay, so we need some sort of hair situation. Was it yellow ochre? I think it was yellow ochre, the blonde hair. In fact, I can look it up. Yes, it was Schmincke Yellow Ochre. I really liked it here with a bit of that sienna, white sienna, whatever it is. Okay, so up here, So instead of using black pen as I always do, I'll try something different today, and I'm just going to use a pencil, and I'm going to just doodle the same lines as I always do, but just using the pencil this time. And then just adding a bit of detail just at the corner. So this one, if you're interested, this is the burnt ochre. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is paint some sort of flowers like so, just quite loosely. I'm going to hold the pencil high above like that, and then I can see she's got some sort of flowers on the side here, bit of a like this. Again, just be loosely inspired by the whole thing. I think I will leave it at that actually. I quite like it just like that. And then I'm going to use a bit of the, such a mess here, but I like it because it means I'm so into what I'm doing that I don't really mind what's going on here. Or not that I don't mind, I don't notice it to begin with. So then I'm just going to add this watercolor here. Straight from the tube, like so. There we go. So I think this color really pops so lovely. And then just with a bit of water, still maintaining some of these white areas, just going to add a bit of color. There we go. That's so pretty. You know, the color that I don't like using much, there's just time and place for certain colors, and this is that type of a situation. Okay, so that's that. I kind of would like to add eyebrows, but you know what? This time I'm going to do something different. Where's my burnt sienna? I'm going to just create a 20s eyebrow, which is basically just a line like that. I think it kind of looks funny. It looks really illustrative, and I like it. Just going to thicken it up right at the bottom here, or the beginning of the eyebrow, and leave it at that. So that is for you, for those of you who struggle with drawing eyebrows. A nice simple line and thickening it up towards the nose. You are done basically. Okay, so do we need any more detail? I would add a little bit of the color to her nostrils, and I feel like I want to add a bit of color to the eye area like so. So I'm just going to go in and add it like that, just ever so slightly, not too much. And in fact, my favorite colors are staring at me. So this is the Derwent Drawing Light Sienna. Love this color. And just pull out here a little bit like that. So we added a bit more color. Now this looks nothing like Sarah Jessica Parker, but she's so adorable. She's not even finished yet. Okay,